Yeah, good morning and welcome back. Just back down here this morning, working on the forward section of the Sonex. Had completed a little bit over the past couple of weeks that I haven't filmed, so I'm just going to do a fairly quick recap on where I'm at from then to now, and what I'll be doing over these few days of the weekend. So we'll just turn the camera around. 5. Okay, I have completed the tail cone as best I can. Now I've put the AN 525 bolts in through here, AN 525 bolts through here, completed the rest of that riveting, which had previously in videos prior to this one not been done. It was just all clecoed together so I could pull skins back or anything that I saw fit at the time, just so I could do a final deburr of anything as I was adjoining the two surfaces together. Probably didn't really need to do that, but I worked on the error of caution. So working forward, I will be now committing to finalizing all of the rivets on the sides of these fuselage pieces. I'm yet to upsize the front part of the firewall and put that bottom hinge in. That's realistically all that's got to happen in that section here, and just finalize that bottom hinge on there for the cowl to affix to. Just on the side here, looking through there, I have completed all of that, and you will see now that I have a flap actuator in and a couple of the electronics there. I might just stop this and climb underneath and go inside there. Okay, just looking aft for a second, where the mixer box goes just inside here for the Y-tail and ruddervators. If you look directly above that on that cross tie is the position where I'll be putting the SP6, right in the center of that. This instrument, all of my instruments do not require, what I've bought don't require an SP7, according to MGL. The two 8-inch IFS displays that I have all that type of thing inbuilt into it. So I think Gavin off memory had an SP6 and an SP7. So just to reiterate, this aircraft system does not require it. Over here we've got a transponder. The V16 transceiver. The earphone jacks will go either side up here, and obviously the flap controller. All that cable run will run from here along the left hand side of the longerons, pick up all this stuff, anything around here, back down and through here, up through the back into the ECB, the electronic circuit breaker. Do all its thing within this system here. I'll rephrase that. Do whatever I have in here that requires to go back to either the IFS or towards the forward section of the firewall where I've got the RADAC and battery and everything inside that section. I'm still getting my head around how I'm doing it all, but that's the basics of it. I'm going to have to work out how I get to the electronic circuit breaker behind the instrument panel. These two 8-inch displays will be removable, but to do some work on that, you know, maybe I'll hinge it down. It'll just drop down like this and come through this side so I can do it all. But I'm working on the error of caution that these instruments do need to be removed easily. I won't be doing a hinged system here. I want to keep that secure as it was designed. Just flipping around the back, what I've done for the transceiver is that because this has got a fixed angle and it's riveted through here, I just made myself up a little pin system here. So that will come down like that. That drops enough so I can take those two screws out, then subsequently undo the two Phillips heads on that side and have to and replace this should it be required, because I've riveted inside here to the underside of the cross tie box, And if I had have done that without putting this little system in here, there's no way in the world I was going to get that out of there. So I'll put that back in there for the moment. Wait a minute, just put that back into there. If I can get it in. Obviously I'm not left-handed, there you go, sorry. And the way that I've done this is too that it can't go forward, this pin. It can only go back, but the seat pan's here anyway, so it, you know, this can't come out. The transponder's nice and easy, just has a little clip on it, just pops down. That backing plate for the transponder is affixed there with rivets in there. Okay, I'll just stop this and go back out now and over to the workbench. Before I go over to the workbench, the Sonex design is for the battery to go in this section here, so yet to commit to obviously where it positions inside there, and then obviously the radar system, which part of the IF displays, will go on or around about this section somewhere. Again, I'll just won't give too much information on it yet because I am yet to get my full head around how it's all wired. Going over to the workbench, everything is now primed and ready to go. All of the seat formers, the aft spar tunnel, the seat belt attach angle, the rear spar carry through ready to go, and also the other half of the seat belt attach angle. I've already put the idler arm in. I have just been in touch with Sonex too. Oh, sorry, just to go backwards a few spots. I have now dry assembled the control stick, and I've just been in touch with Sonex just over the weekend and just been talking to Mark on. I was a little bit concerned how I was going to attach my roll part of the Autopilot. I didn't have an issue with the pitch control. That will go back to the idler arm push rod from here to the stick. Somewhere on that stick, that push rod through there, I can attach my servo motor, which is not a drama. But let me just digress for a second. And the reason I'm having a few issues of how I'm going to do this Autopilot for the ailerons is that if I so choose to make these wings removable, which I'm going to probably do anyway, and I don't, you know, if it's designed to be removable, well, why not make it removable rather than the bolts? So to do that, in these, where is it? Somewhere around here it is. Okay, so when that fixes to here, that way around, there's two removable pins that go into here, so your push rods for your ailerons can just slip out with the wings. They remain attached to the wing. So what Mark has suggested, which I have to admit I did actually look at a drawing I downloaded a PDF drawing from Dynon on how to do these servo motors from that. The push rod for the servo is attached to the outside of this, goes back to the servo on the right hand side just under the seat pan, and that is your left and right, giving you aileron control for your roll, part of the Autopilot. So hence Mark said that he will be able to, if I measure this distance, they will organise pins for me for either left and right of this control stick. The left being smaller because it won't need as large as what this side will, because it has the added push rod for the servo in. Does that make sense? Good. Alright, so this morning's jobs, I'm going to start riveting all these seat formers together and see if I can start to get a aeroplane ready to, yes, maybe start installing these servo motors, or at least looking at them anyway. So I'll film some more throughout the day and come back with you all soon. Hi, just a little bit of a halfway point to fully assembling the Ford Fuselage. So we're just going to spin the old camera around and we'll have a quick look. Okay, got all the seat formers and the rear seatbelt attach angle now in situ. I actually found it easier to fully rivet as you see it now on the workbench, namely in getting these rivets right down inside here. I think it was going to be too hard of a task to do in amongst all these bits and pieces in here, so I took it apart. Took it out, put it on the workbench, and assembled it out there. Just got a little temporary hockey stick, hockey cord there, or little stretchy cord thing. They're just holding that up, just so it doesn't sort of put too much pressure on those seat formers and fall forward. Over on the workbench, I have got the rear spar to now rear spar tunnel, to now rivet and place in situ in the aeroplane. So I'll get on to doing this, and then I'll come back to you shortly. Yeah, good morning. Just a quick recap on yesterday's work. Everything after the spar tunnel, with all the seat formers, seatbelt attach angles, idler arm, everything like that, up to the rear spar carry through, is pretty much in situ and riveted off. In respect to the rear spar carry through, it is not done. I've still clecoed around where the gussets will come from the aft end of there's a fly hanging around me, aft end of the wings into the actual fuselage. That's still yet to be riveted off. I've temporarily bolted with the AM bolts just to align it all. The reason we don't do it now is as in riveted off is because we've got the wing rigging to happen. We've still got to drill the I think it's about 1/4 of an inch hole through those through the rear spar carry through and into the wings itself. So that has to obviously be disassembled and deburred and the like, so it's all good for priming and the like. I'm just going to flip the camera around and we'll quickly go through it. Just starting off here at the forward part of the fuselage, namely the firewall. Just down the bottom here, that's the hinge is now in spot for the cowl is put in spot, is all aligned. I put the underside of the sheet on so I could get that nominal distance through there, and I think it was around about 2.4 millimeters from the underside of the sheet to the little round knobby bit on the hinge. So just align that adequately, enough to get clecos in, and ready now for upsizing to copper clecos over so I can actually do all of this section now in coppers and disassemble it and either rivet it or leave a few clecos in the spot just for the moment. Going back over to the fuselage, all of the spar tunnel, rear spar tunnel is all countersunk riveted. I found it a lot easier to do it on the workbench and bring it over here and put it into the aeroplane. It was so much easier to do. On the sides here now, I have completed all rivets through here. I've got some AN 525 bolts to go through here. None of this will be riveted at this stage. I'm just going to cleco it so I can pull apart should it be required. Through here where the gussets are that go into that little square hollow section up through there is yet to be done, only because I've got some upsizing to do through here when I do the glare shield. Once the glare shield goes in and I do the forward part of the windscreen, it's still going to be disassembled quite a number of times while I'm aligning it all. At that stage I'll then upsize these and then put them all in and rivet it all off. I'm going to leave that off just for the moment because I've still got some work to do on the seatbelt, the rudder pedals, and I'll be leaving all of this section off down here as well, just in case, on the of caution. Nothing will be riveted around here yet because I've got the the forward spar tunnel to go in once the wings are rigged, at which time I'll probably end up, obviously I'll put that in at that spot. I can probably still rivet through here, or at least from that point there onwards anyway, leaving that from there to there out. Do that at a later stage. I think I've still got a little small angle to go through there yet. I've got to check the drawings for just a little bit of a support on the top of that spar tunnel. Not sure what that component's called, but anyway, looking at the back here, I've now got the sheet in so I can assemble the control stick, just dry fit the control stick so I can run the aileron push rod through so I can get the correct distance for the removable pin that will go into that part of the control stick. So when the wings are pulled apart, should they ever have to be pulled apart, I've got to take into consideration the servo drive rod, which goes back to a servo on or around about here somewhere for the roll part of the Autopilot. Going back this way from the control stick through to the idler arm, which attaches about here. That top hole on here goes back to the Waiex mixer box, which is a little bit different to the conventional model B. That's where I'll be able to hopefully put the servo for the pitch control. You may remember very early in the piece that I wanted to sort of get my head around how I was going to do all this build with all the components going in here, namely the Autopilot and everything, the flap control, everything like that. So I just sort of elected to build it in this way. Over there you'll see the little flap control in. We've done a little bit back on that previously, as in a previous video. I'll start to upsize now and see how I go. Talk with you all soon. Oh, welcome back. I'm just going to do a quick close off a video for the works that I'm currently doing at the moment. I have been mucking around for the last couple of hours just trying to work out this Autopilot servo locations. I've moved the pitch control servo probably about 5 times, I think, and the aileron or roll is pretty self-explanatory. But I think I'm happy with the final location of it. It was probably designed to go between the control stick and the idler arm, or in that center part of the seat area. I've ended up putting it off to one side, and I will just quickly turn the camera around and we'll go through how I've achieved it. Okay, just spinning the camera around now. I've positioned the control stick. This handle is obviously got to be cut dependent on both instrument arms caught, instrument panel, and also control knob stick with all the little buttony things on it. How it goes to, so it doesn't clash with the cockpit instrument panel. So I've got the push rod in location there. You'll see the idler arm quite happily going backwards and forwards, and our roll part of the ailerons is just there, the roll part of the stick, sorry. So I've put the push rod in here for the aileron control, which I think the servo will probably end up going on or around about there somewhere, and this is where I'll have the extended pin going in there for the removal of the location. So these little eye-bolty things can go in on the outside of that, so then the pin will obviously be longer on one side than what it will be on this side. It's really tight around here. Anyway, I managed to get it all in. That's actually the correct location. So just going back to what I said before about the servo, I was trying to get that servo inside here, and there was no way on this earth it was going to do it. So it's managed just to fit in there. I can't quite reach over there, but that will go on the outside of that. The bolt will be fairly close to that. I've got the ability to probably to leave it in that spot, move it perhaps forward, put a small hole, and bolt that on and off each time, but I think I'm just going to leave it like that, because if I just swing around the other side for a second, I'll show you why. Obviously things do break down, and should these servos ever break down, that will be attached to the underside of this reinforcement plate with little plate nuts. So on the underside of the fuselage there'll be 4 of the little AN screws going into the plate nuts there. That will just simply go in there each time, bolt him down, so it's accessible from the underside. I'll have to put a small access panel in the floor sheet. I'm hoping it doesn't weaken the floor sheet, and I'm going to have to do the same over here. Although, anyway, I was about to say I could probably pull it through that, but no way. I think it's best if I put some removable sheets on here and a removable sheet on here. So there it is. It's works fairly good, I think, if I work on that as a scenario. Bit of work to go, but we're moving forward. Anyway, I think I'll close this off now and come back to you when I've got some more information. Talk with you soon.